Hello and welcome to Hope for Today. Thanks for joining me. I believe this is going to be a good week coming up. How about you?
Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I got Daren Walker with me. I'll tell you a little bit about him in a moment. But about you, God is for you, never against you. Jeremiah 29:11. Can't say that enough. I lived too many years thinking that I was on God's bad list, and He doesn't have a bad list. We're all His kids. He loves us. He wants to see us all redeemed through Jesus. He is for us. And so I love that. I love that He loves me, and I love that He loves you. Today, I want to introduce a friend of mine. This is Daren Walker. Welcome, Daren.
Thank you.
Daren loves the nations for how many years? About 10, 12 years?
So 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Was a missionary with his wife and 3 children in Guatemala and Mexico. And what are some of your outstanding memories about Guatemala and Mexico, your time there?
So during that time, we worked as directors of a ministry that helped with children in extreme poverty. And so we were able to plant 2 churches, and also we built 14 structures. The last structure we built was a school for 500 kids. It was 43,000 square foot. And just to see those kids get an education was just absolutely awesome.
That's phenomenal. And Daren and his family are back in the States now. You may have remembered, I'm going to show you a picture of here from the cross and the switchblade. That's an old movie that's still worth watching. The story of David Wilkerson, who started Teen Challenge back in what year?
It would have been 1958.
1958. Was a pastor and just had a heart for inner New York City and the gangs. And he went in, he was in a lot of danger, a lot of persecution, but didn't give up, just loved the gang members. And out of it was born Teen Challenge. Now it's called Adult and Teen Challenge. So it's, nearly 50 years old?
Yeah.
No, older, nearly 75 years old, I guess, isn't it? Still going strong. And so Daren and his wife lead Adult and Teen Challenge in North Texas.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that. It's a phenomenal work.
So it's a great ministry. It's a 1-year program that helps individuals that struggle with life-controlling issues such as drug addiction, alcoholism. And so they come into the program, and we just start the discipleship process with them and just tell them about the love of Christ, try to help them. And part of the program is the educational part, and then the other part is we do vocational training where the guys, they work, they learn skills so that they're able to become successful when they leave after a year.
Right. So it's a really, really strong, successful program. And you take people from all over the United States, I guess. They don't have to just be here in North Texas. So here's their website that you can go to and check out this ministry. And are people able to come in at any time, or is it once a year? How does it work?
Anytime. So like if a person's struggling with alcohol and drug addiction and they're like, hey, I need help, we'll bring them in right away. A lot of times we'll do like an initial interview just to see where they're at. But after that, we've brought in guys, most days of the week we have guys come in. Okay.
So is this a volunteer program where people volunteer, or is it court mandated, or both?
It's actually both. So like individuals that want to volunteer, they're like, hey, I just want to change. They're accepted into the program, but also someone who's facing legal challenges can be probated to a condition of probation to finish the program.
Because this program, Adult and Teen Challenge, is highly respected by government. Because of the success rate that you guys have. And so there's something, ministries don't just happen. It takes work, it takes finances. So you got innovative with some coffee, and it's called Reclamation Coffee Company. This is the Jericho blend. This stuff smells delicious. Tell me about this, venture.
So we really wanted to do something that would help teach the guys a skill. And so we were like, hey, what would it be like if we could actually roast coffee? So we went to a church. This church put together a donation for us, and we were able to buy a roaster that can really put out at least 50 pounds in an hour of coffee. And so we started teaching the guys how to roast. We had to learn ourselves. It was super cool. And God just started putting it together. And like we have 3 different blends. One is we have a light, a medium, and a dark. Our dark roast is from Chiapas, Mexico. Our medium is actually a blend between Huehuetenango, Guatemala, and Costa
Say that again.
Huehuetenango. And then it's way up high anyway in the northern part of Guatemala. And then it's really a famous coffee region. And then it's a mix between Costa Rican as well. And then our light roast is a Costa Rican blend. And then we do have decaf for those that don't want to have caffeine, but I don't understand those people, but it's from Brazil. So.
That's good. Well, this stuff is good. I have a funny story that I don't know if I've ever shared here. Michael, could you come join us and be right here? So Michael, he's helping today. This was back in Peru. How many years ago? Maybe 10, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
So
pretty close.
We went and did ministry with the Assemblies of God in Peru. It was their district council, all their pastors came together. And then the team took the team we wanted to go to Machu Picchu. And so we had to start in, what's the city?
Aguascalientes or Cusco.
Cusco.
Yeah.
And so you stop there for overnight to change for the altitude because Machu Picchu is so high. And so they had in the lobby these little stanchion set up, this little table set up with coca tea. And so it helps you with the altitude and keeps you from getting altitude sickness. Wow. So I drank 3 little cups of it. I don't know. Did you have any?
I did.
You had one or?
I think I had like 1 cup, and it was the coca leaves.
And we had to leave at 3 in the morning. So I did not sleep that night. And we had to go to some town. You just said the name of it.
Well,
Ollantaytambo or
Ollantaytambo.
Ollantaytambo. And so we're on the bus, and that's all I can say over and over and over again. And Michael,
said it in your sleep.
I said it in my sleep when I was on the bus, and I was high on coca tea and didn't know it. Yeah, that was pretty miserable.
It's the leaf they used to make the cocaine.
Yeah, I didn't know. So this is legit. So
Thank
you, Michael.
This is so legit.
This stuff is legit. You're not going to get drunk on it. So do they use that same website that we already gave, that you gave me to order coffee?
Yeah, Reclamation Coffee Co.
Yeah. So this stuff is good stuff. Again, it's street legal and good for you, and it'll wake you up, and it smells, man, delicious. And this money goes to support Adult and Teen Challenge.
Yeah,
and the men work it, right?
Yeah, the men work it, and then they roast it, we bag it, we label it, everything. And you can actually go and to the website, make an order, and then we'll ship it to you. And so it's really a good thing because when a person's struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, they lose hope. And for them to have hope back, a lot of times it's good to see something completed. Right. And so from start to finish, having something that they can say, I did that, I completed that.
And then they go for a lesser addiction.
Oh, yeah. Then they get hooked on coffee, which is a great addiction.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it?
Right.
But I do like that it is completion and brings hope. It does bring hope because hope put off makes the heart sick. So when you finish a venture, all the way from getting it, roasting it, bagging it, sending it, that is a good feeling. And you were showing me plans the other day. I don't remember if you have a building already dedicated or you're building a building.
So we already have a building. It's a red barn. And so it is just pristine, clean. It's just got this amazing roaster inside of it. And it's kind of cool. One of the things that a spiritual application of one of our students said, he goes, we're like the bean when we come into the program. We're green. Then we get put into the fire, the fire of God, and he starts working on us. And when the bean almost shines, it starts to wrinkle up a little bit. He goes, because it's being stretched. The bean's being stretched. So a lot of times God will stretch us, or we'll be stretched by the circumstances of our life. But when we get through with being roasted like that bean, we smell good. We have an aroma, a flavor. And we shine because the bean shines when it's ready. And so just shining for Jesus. And it's just kind of cool to hear one of our students say that. Well,
our church hosted a conference of, it's about 175 people, pastors and leaders of churches. I guess it was last week before last. I don't know. But some of your team came and helped. And I want to give you some feedback. I've been around Life Challenge, Teen Challenge most of my life. But whatever you're doing is really working. Those men were so peaceful and willing to help out in any way. They seemed happy.
Yeah.
They seemed happy and settled and at peace. And so I want to say good leadership there.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you been doing it?
So we've been doing this a little over 2.5 years.
Okay.
It was brand new to us, and God just called us into it, and so we're enjoying it.
And tell us about your family. You have 3 kids.
So I have
a
3
wife.
boys. My oldest son, he's married. He's 21, and then my middle son goes to Bible school. He's wanting to do sports medicine.
Great.
His name's Nicholas. He's 19, and then my youngest son, he's 6'5", like almost 300 pounds, and plays on the line. And straight A student. His
Okay.
name's Kenan.
Great.
So I have 3 boys.
What's your first son's name?
Josiah.
Josiah. Those are
Yeah.
good names. So wow, you've been busy.
Oh, yeah, super busy.
And they're close together, and that's good. You'll have all your grandkids probably kind of close together. That's exciting, and I just appreciate what you've done in the past by loving on the nations. So we have a lot of Latino nations that watch. Could you say something in Spanish to them?
Oh, yeah. Quiero saludarles a ustedes porque este pastor es un buen pastor y él tiene un mensaje de esperanza para ustedes y Dios es un Dios de esperanza y te ama, Dios te ama muchísimo.
I like that. Whatever
God
he
loves
said,
you.
I say
God
yes.
loves them a lot. You're a great pastor, and you have a message of hope for them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a message of hope. And I think today what you're doing is so hopeful because addiction rating is growing.
Oh, yeah.
Just the level of addiction is growing by leaps and bounds, unfortunately. And so ministries like these are vital to rescue men and women off the streets and out of their addictions and set them on the right path. And I've met some of them that have been through the program. They have families now. They have businesses. They have ministries.
Man.
It's fruitful.
Yeah, the statistic that really alarms me the most is every 5 minutes someone dies of an overdose.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. But we want to be like a hospital to them to bring hope and help them get through the situations in their lives.
Right. So if you are interested, and you may be even in another country or you may be in another state, still reach out to Daren and he can help you. And if you need coffee, reach out. They can help you with that as well. But there are places to go all over the world. There are adult and teen challenges all over the world. He could connect you. He's a very genuinely nice man who loves God and wants to help people. And when he agreed to be on this broadcast, he knew he was speaking to the nations. And so, I love that we're all connected globally now. Right now we're talking to nations. And if you have an addict that has a problem, reach out and we'll be praying from my end. And if he can find a placement or direct you, he'll do that. And we'll see your loved one, your friend, your business partner, whatever, get off drugs. And so that's powerful, and get them on the road to freedom and hope. Well,
Amen.
Thank you, Daren, for joining me today. And thank you for what you're doing, for your wife, what she's doing, and your kids following the Lord in your footsteps. Thank you for being you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for supporting John Bates Ministries and helping me reach the nations. Raising money right now to go to Pakistan to speak to around 300,000 Muslims that will be in the fall. And also taking a trip to Bangladesh in December, taking a team of about 20, and we'll be ministering to thousands of Hindus and Muslims there, and then doing an international pastors conference or a national pastors conference and a national youth conference. And so if you could help with either of those situations that are going to be powerful, those great outreaches, I'm believing for thousands and thousands and thousands of salvations, signs, wonders, and miracles. So thank you for partnering. And here's the way you can give to John Bates Ministries and help me continue to reach the nations. And again, I want you to check this coffee out. You will not be sorry. You will thank Daren and myself both for recommending you this coffee. Well, have a blessed week. Thank you again, Daren, for being here. Be blessed.